Wow, look at this playoff picture. It's actually not as muddled as you might think. Cowboys, they got the number 1 seed. We all know that. Falcons and Seahawks have clinched their divisions. The Gigantes are back. They're going back to the postseason after the Bucs lost in New Orleans. So you see there, Washington's still in the hunt, but they need a lot of work.
A lot less teams in the hunt, though.
Yeah. And Tampa Bay, they're on life support right now for the postseason after losing for the 2nd week in a row. So if it ended today, that's the way it would be. So let's get that neon light out there. And you tell me, Dylan McGordy, is this legit or not? The Cowboys, they might have to face the Gigantes for a 3rd time. Yeah, they're 12-2, but the 2 have come to that guy, Big Blue, Eli. It's kind of like Tom Brady. He'd be perfect in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for Eli. He lost 2 to the Gigantes. Would it be 3? And is it legit to say that the Cowboys should be fearful of matching up with the Giants once again?
Yeah, absolutely. Can't beat them.
Can't beat them or haven't beaten them?
What's the difference?
Well, the big difference. You're saying that they can't beat them if they faced them again.
Anything can happen. They have not been able to beat them.
That's correct.
They have not looked themselves. And I think the most recent loss, what it did was put to bed that was a different Cowboys team.
Week 1.
It really didn't come into themselves yet as far as Dak.
Didn't know who we were yet.
Yeah, that identity, that momentum, that confidence that comes with winning and having the best win streak in franchise history. That's a different team week 1 than the face the Giants towards the end of the season. Well, same result. I think there's a lot of reasons to think that everything in sports is just about matchups. And this is not the best matchup for the Cowboys. Doesn't mean they can't win the game. They certainly can, and that game is going to happen in their backyard. We know that. That's going to help. But some of this has to do with the Giants' health, too, especially on the defensive side. They need to get Janoris Jenkins healthy, fully healthy. And, if he was a game-changing type of player in that second defeat of the Cowboys. He really, really was so impactful in the secondary for the New York Giants. They
locked down the receivers a lot of times man on man.
Dez was frustrated all game long. They were because of the lockdown secondary play of the Jackrabbit and the rest of those guys for Big Blue. They were able to get after Dak Prescott a little bit more. Didn't have throwing lanes immediately as open as he was used to. Anything could happen, but certainly if the Giants are fully healthy, there's reason for the Cowboys to be a little bit nervous about facing them because they have not beat them.
No, it's interesting because you're right. They've beaten Green Bay. They've beaten Seattle, a couple other teams they might see. They've beaten Washington twice if the Skins were to get into the playoff picture. But that's the one team right now they go, well, they haven't figured out the formula. First game was a high-scoring game. Second game was low-scoring. They lose both of them.
Right.
So there's really not which style do you want to do. We've beat you at both of them if you're the Giants.
And to be fair, it's not like the Giants just completely worked them.
They were close games.
Those games could have gone either way. Giants just happen to win them. You give the Giants credit the same way you give the Cowboys credit that in that game against the Packers or the Steeler game. They played some very quality teams, and they beat them, and they outlasted those quality teams. That's what the Giants did, giving them a taste of their own medicine, and both the times they beat them. You could split the two teams by a hair, but the Giants came up on top, and I think it's because they match up well with Dallas.
Again, we don't know what the playoff matchups will be yet. We do know the Cowboys will have a first-round bye and that the Giants will have to play a wild card game, but if the Giants do win that first one, it could be the first weekend with the division leaders and winners of their division in the playoff picture in that second round. It could be Dallas and New York for a 3rd time. We'll find out.